Hey everyone, Dr. Josh Jagoda here, and today I want to talk about chiropractic subluxation, what that word means versus a medical subluxation, because there is a big difference. And yes, chiropractors do use that word, but so do medical doctors, so sometimes it can get confusing because they mean two totally different things. So first, let's start with medical subluxation. What does that mean and what is it? So a medical subluxation is also known as a dislocation. Everybody out there has likely heard of a dislocation. A lot of common areas of the body are going to be the elbow, fingers, and especially the shoulder. And a dislocation is where we overstretch or we move the joint out of complete positioning. And when that happens, that occurs when there's a trauma, usually a slip and fall, car accidents. It's really a trauma or traumatic based injury. We have overstretching of the ligaments, we can have possible broken bones, we can have a lot of soft tissue damage, and it is completely different than a chiropractic subluxation. So let's just first define that medical one. Now, a chiropractic subluxation is something completely different, and this is the premises of chiropractic, right? And chiropractors use this word differently, okay? So first, it can be known as fixation, restriction, subluxation, a stressor point. It has a lot of different meanings to a lot of different chiropractors. And that is sometimes where a lot of medical integration gets very confused with chiropractic. But for argument's sake, we're going to keep this very, very simple. We're going to say subluxation because we're talking about the differences, right? A chiropractic subluxation can be something as simple as a misalignment within the vertebra. Now, it may be structural. Sometimes you can see it structurally, but more often than not that we see this in a neurophysiological state. What does that mean, guys, right? Meaning the neurology can be altered, the range of motion of that joint can be altered, as well as the physiology. That can be something like I said, the neurology of it. It can be the blood flow, the oxygen, and of course the range of motion. So if we have a joint, whether it's the elbow, the shoulder, the neck, the spine, that is exhibiting a reduced range of motion, it's going to have reduced, again, range of motion, right? A reduced physiology, blood flow, range of motion, as I said before. As a result, it's going to have decreased neural connections, and that's going to affect not only the spine at the localized area, but it can affect the brain, the spinal cord, other areas of the body reflexively as well. So when we talk about a chiropractic subluxation, it's not like a dislocation. It could be something that you may or may not see on x-ray. You may have to feel it palpably, meaning the chiropractor themselves may actually have to push or spring or touch on the area or the segment that is becoming dysfunctional. In addition, guys, what's really important to realize is that these sometimes can encompass pain or not have pain. So because you have this or don't have this, you won't be able to tell. One of the ways that chiropractors also tell is through scanning devices and other devices that are technologically advanced for chiropractic. They're only specific to chiropractic, so you won't be able to just take an x-ray or an MRI and be like, hey, there's a subluxation there, a chiropractic subluxation. So these are the real differences, right? In a medical treatment model for a subluxation, it's about relocation, and then of course rest, ice, treatment, all that other stuff, and then followed by stabilization, right? So if we dislocate our shoulder, we have to first put it back. After we put it back, we have to let the inflammatory phase occur, and then after that you have to start building up stability for that shoulder, for that joint. For chiropractic, it's the exact opposite. We're talking about an exhibited range of motion that is actually decreased. So an area within the spine that is not moving enough, which will alter the range of motion, which will alter the physiology, the neurology and affect other areas reflexively within the spine. So as a matter of fact, chiropractic subluxation or fixation, whatever word you want to use, you're going to need to mobilize and move that area more. It's really different. So a lot of medical docs and a lot of chiropractors, when they use that word subluxation, they get confused, and it confuses the people out there. So this is the difference, right? One's a dislocation, one's more of a restriction in range of motion. One needs to be stabilized, the other one needs to be mobilized or moved. And so that's where chiropractic subluxation differs than medical subluxation. So I know I went on a little bit of rant for this one, but hopefully this clears up the difference for you guys, all right? I'm Dr. Josh Jagoda. Thanks for stopping by, and we'll see you guys for the next episode. Bye.